Hello, Ava.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Nice to
It
see you.
took some time for me.
Yeah, I'm just setting up myself, but I'm getting there. There I am. Hi, Jan. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. How's Colleen doing? That
I
you,
I mean I haven't had contact with her since September.
Mhm.
So but I think this Monday is supposed to be her Monday night meeting if they have it.
Uh-huh.
Last month they didn't have it because they were busy with the new publication.
Oh,
I think they were just exhausted.
I suppose if they're publishing something new.
No, that the from the
Oh,
show that they all did,
oh,
that
the
one.
catalog. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's a nice book. It has a lot of good
And
artwork
it's
in it.
very cold in London today.
Wow.
No, we had snow.
You had snow?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know it snowed in
Very
London.
early this morning we had some snow, yeah. So Mary sent me a message just now. She can't make it tonight.
Uh,
Her brother's had a very bad accident. She's had to take a flight to Ireland. So
oh,
Oh
he's
no.
geez.
in surgery.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
Oh.
yeah. So she said he fractured his back and he's been in surgery since
No.
PM. I
Oh,
just got in just now and read the message, yes.
yeah. Oh, boy.
That's a long
Okay.
operation, yeah. So
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
hard operation to have, too, because you have to
Yeah.
stay still for a long while.
Mm,
Um, you're not going to be running the 100-yard dash anytime soon.
no, 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 don't. He's that young either.
Yeah.
Generally get harder as you get older.
None of us are getting any younger. Oh, man. Okay.
Anyway,
Well,
some good news. My house is completed. I've now actually got a home.
oh, really? Good.
So,
Congrats.
for 2 weeks' time, I'll have internet. So I'll be calling in from my own home, and I won't be.
So you did buy the house that you
Did
talked
I bought
about?
the house, the one with the little workshop, and the first thing I did that
Oh,
night was I packed up all my clay and
Hmm.
my glazes, put them all in the car, and went round and filled up the workshop.
Good for you.
So
oh,
exciting to have that space. So yeah, so I'm really, I love it. It is very, very lovely, and it's in a lovely place as well. So I'm very happy with it. So just
so do you do pots? Do you do pots?
yeah, yeah. So I've done. I like throwing pots. I've got an
Um,
electric wheel. I've
Hmm.
got a kiln, and I'm actually going to treat myself to a new kiln. That was something that I said that when I moved into. This is going to be my settling down house, and I'm going to get a really nice kiln.
Good for you.
oh, good. Yeah.
So at the moment, the one I've got only fires things up to about 14 inches, which
Hmm.
is it's been enough. But I'm thinking before I retire, I want to do bigger things.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what Colleen did. She attracted ladies to her studio for the last 50 years, really, with the kiln,
Oh yeah, yeah,
right? And
yeah.
and and so she taught this art and spirit workshop for
Oh yeah.
years,
Okay, gosh.
right?
She
And
still is
and
teaching
she's
it.
still teaching it every Monday.
Gosh,
And
what a lovely way to
yeah, and she's got
living.
a
What a lovely livelihood.
she has a very strong um group of ladies around her that, I think, I don't know what they pay, but I'm sure they pay some money for
Yeah.
being in the
Sometimes they have,
workshop with her.
sometimes they do like sliding scale for these kind of things. You
Yeah.
know, when sometimes people, especially if you've got people that you're working with for a long time, life can be very up and down. So you have to be a bit flexible with things.
Oh, yeah. And
But
Colleen's been through what, three husbands, right? Colleen's
yeah.
knocked off three.
Well, it's
Divorced one
tough.
and two of them
Relationship
died.
is tough. It's hard work.
Yeah.
That's what we're reading now.
Right. And Merritt's, you're looking good. You're looking happy.
I'm happy.
Oh, good.
I I won't work tomorrow and the day after tomorrow.
Oh, very good.
Only on Monday. So I'm so happy.
Not lovely.
And
A
are you
simple
going?
life. I get happy with days
Yeah.
off.
Do you have a holiday, a longer holiday coming up?
Yes. Do you mean the holidays in the end of the year?
Yeah, end of your holiday.
We will have only about a week for
Well,
Christmas
I don't.
and
I don't mean Christmas. I mean
oh
like our summer holiday, where I have 14 weeks off in the summer.
no, no, it's not like that.
Oh.
The students will have January and this the end of December and January, the
Hmm.
teachers and the students. But I will work December and January.
Oh boy.
I take my vacations in August.
Oh, I
I take
see.
a month off.
Hmm.
But tomorrow will be a national holiday
Mm.
about the Black people awareness,
Hmm.
Black Pride.
Hmm.
It's a so we won't work on tomorrow and after tomorrow.
Oh, that's a lovely holiday.
Well, good.
Yes, it used to be not very official, but
Yeah.
now it's a national holiday. It's a big
Yeah.
deal now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Good.
We have holidays coming up also with next week. We only have to come into the school on Monday for parent-teacher conferences. So the kids get off from Friday uh, until after our Thanksgiving holiday. So they get 2 weekends and a full week off. We we don't have students on Monday, but we have to be at school to do parent-teacher conferences. And then on Tuesday, we have to do them electronically. Um,
Mm.
but we don't have to go home, go to school. Wednesday, we get off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that's good. I mean, it's sort of,
Chance for some recuperation.
pardon?
Chance for a little bit of rest.
Yeah, everybody is ready for a little rest.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's Tim arriving. And so, Tim, welcome. We're just about to read the Sin Eaters, so you're right on.
To read the what?
The Sin Eaters.
Oh my gosh, I'm glad I got here for that.
Okay, we're good. We're all here. Hail, hail, the gang's all here. Let's dive right in. Um, I have to first open it. Okay, so I'm on page 63 of my version. Uh, it's it's in a section called "The Stalking the Intruder: The Beginning Initiation," and the subtitle is "The Sin Eaters." So Bluebeard is through and through a cutting story about severing and reunion. In the final stage of the story, Bluebeard's body is left for the flesh eaters, the cormorants, raptors, and buzzards, to carry away. Here we have the very strange and mystical ending. In ancient times, there were souls called sin eaters. These were spirits, birds, or animals, sometimes humans, who, somewhat like the scapegoat, took on the sins, the waste, and the community so people could be redeemed or cleansed. We have seen how Wild Woman is La Loba, the bone woman, the finder of the dead, the one who sings over the bones of the dead, bringing them back to life, and that this life, death, life nature is a central attribute of the wildish and instinctual nature of women. Likewise, in Norse mythology, the sin eaters are carrion eaters who devour the dead, incubate them in their bellies, and carry them to hell, who is not a place but a person. Hell is the goddess of life and death. She shows the dead how to live backward. They become younger and younger until they are ready to be reborn and released back into life. This eating of sins and sinners and the subsequent incubation of them and their release back into life once more constitutes an individuation process for the most base beings in the psyche. For the most base beings in the psyche. In this sense, it is right and proper for that purpose that we draw energy. I gotta get these glasses off. That we draw energy out of the predatory elements of our psyches, killing them, so to speak, draining their powers. Then they may be returned to the compassionate life, death, life mother to be transformed and reissued, hopefully in a less contentious state. Many scholars who have studied this tale think Bluebeard represents a force which is not redeemable. But I sense additional ground for this aspect of the psyche. Not a transformation from mass murderer into Mr. Chips, but more like a person who must be in an asylum, but a decent place with trees and sky and proper food and maybe music to soothe, but not banished to a backward in the psyche of the tortured and reviled. On the other hand, I do not want to portray that there is no such thing as manifest or irredeemable evil, for that also exists. Throughout time, there is a mystical sense that any individuation work done by humans also changes the darkness in the collective unconscious. Of all humans, that being the place where the predator resides. Jung once said that God became more conscious as humans became more conscious. He postulated that humans cause the dark side of God to become struck with light when they rout their personal demons out into the light of day. I do not claim to know how it all works, but following archetypal pattern, it would look and work something like this. Instead of reviling the predator of the psyche or running away from it, we dismember it. We accomplish this by not allowing ourselves divisive thoughts about our soul life and our worth in particular. We capture invidious thoughts before they become large enough to do any harm, and we dismantle them. We dismantle the predator by countering its diatribes with our own nurturant truths. Predator, quote, oh, hold on a second, I gotta let somebody in. Let me change glasses, that might help. Okay, so we dismantle the predator by countering its diatribes with our own nurturing truths. Predator, you never finish anything you start yourself. I finish many things. Unquote. We dismantle the assaults of the natural predator by taking to heart and working with what is truthful in what the predator says and then discarding the rest. We dismantle the predator by maintaining our intuitions and instincts and by resisting the predator's seductions. If we were to list all our losses up to this point in our lives, remembering times when we were disappointed, when we were powerless against torment, when we had a fantasy filled with frosting and frou-frou, we would understand that those are vulnerable sites in our psyches. It is to those desirous and underprivileged parts that the predator appeals in order to hide the fact that its sole intention is to drag you to the cellar and leech your energy as a blood transfusion for himself. In the finale of the Bluebeard story, his bones and gristle are left for the buzzards. This gives us a strong insight into transformation of the predator. That is the last task for a woman in this Bluebeardian journey, to allow her life, death, life nature to pick the predator apart and carry it off to be incubated, transformed, released back into life. Okay, I'm going to stop there for a minute and we can talk about it. Comments?
Well, I loved that suggestion that in becoming more conscious ourselves and challenging the predator, it's like the dark side, we're allowing the dark side of God to become struck with light. I really loved that. It's like the universe becoming more conscious of itself, you know, as we grow as individuals.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, I think that that's happening. When I started doing this work, most people weren't interested in Jung. And, as I've continued to do it, I see more and more people interested in Jung. And to be interested in Jung, you have to be interested in your shadow as well. So I think that is increasing, although I can't really point to any specifics. Tim, what do you think? Has your group in Helena advanced at all, or is it more or less doing the same sorts of things for the last however many years?
I'm not sure we've advanced, except each of us understands it better.
Uh,
Well, so your consciousness has increased.
Yeah, individually, that would be the case.
Hmm.
And I always feel like I'm learning new stuff.
Yeah, well, I
It's
do
hard
too.
to talk about other people, but um, man, it's always rich for me to dive into this stuff.
Yeah, me too. That's why I keep doing it.
well, I think this is like our inner predator too, our inner critic,
Yeah,
that, and especially talks about all the icing and frou-frou or whatever it says, so that when we're very young, that is easily attacked.
hmm,
And but to get our ego stronger so that we can stand up to these negative aspects of the psyche, the negative archetypes, that we have to dismember that. We have to take it apart, all of that negative self-talk.
yeah, sure.
So that, and I think that has to be done on an individual basis. And then you become more conscious of your weaknesses. Like, you know, when we're young, we're very naive. Um, most of us more superficial. But the collective unconscious at this point, it's really doesn't seem to have yet, but maybe something happened this week that may be an indication that it's beginning to turn. Let's hope so.
Yeah, and
But
it
I
could,
but I think it's.
What's that, Diane? What happened this week?
Oh, well, the House of Representatives voted on a law that will go to the Senate to make it require that the Epstein files are disclosed.
right. And it was voted on with only one dissent, and it went to the Senate, and the Senate adopted it by unanimous consent. And so
The
now it's,
Senate did. The Senate
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Oh, wow! I
That
didn't know
that
that.
happened that happened last night. This
Okay.
the Schumer stood up in the well and said, I want to adopt this by unanimous consent, and they all agreed. Of course, they
And
don't want,
no senator disagreed.
no senator disagreed,
Wow.
and only one congressman
Wow.
disagreed. So all of a sudden, they went from fighting, 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 fighting to we all agree.
However, I think Trump is going to try to pull some things. We'll
Well,
see.
I'm sure he's had months, if not years, to get stuff pulled out of the file. So God knows what they've done, but we're going to learn a lot of stuff because
Yeah.
they're fine. They have access now to um, the estate. The estate has turned over their emails, and that's already caused Larry. What's his name? The guy who was who,
Sutton, is that it?
huh?
Sutton?
No, not Sutton.
You,
Summers.
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 Larry Summers, who was the president of Harvard and then went into the cabinet, I think into Bill Clinton's cabinet, probably, and
Well, Obama's
or
too.
Obama's cabinet
Both
too.
of their cabinets. He was in
Yeah.
both of their cabinets.
Okay. So uh
Was
so
Obama involved in that? Was there anything about Obama there?
He just didn't do anything
Uh-huh. To reveal it.
to Yeah, they blocked it. He didn't do anything to stop it. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
It's really huge. What is happening is really, when you think about it, it's huge. My
Oh, it's
Talk
years,
huge.
about
decades,
predators.
decades.
Talk about predators.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the first real bipartisan event
Yes.
that because everybody's in there. Democrats. They said even I'm not sure, but I heard Deepak Chopra is there. I don't know. But it's really interesting the power of these
What do
women.
you mean? He's involved in this? Deepak Chopra?
I don't know. I was listening to one of these comedians, John, I don't remember names anymore. But he was making a joke that this is the first bipartisan, real bipartisan. This list is really bipartisan because all the Democrats and Republicans are in there. Silicon Valley inventors, entrepreneurs, spiritual leaders,
Wow.
everybody famous.
Yeah.
Human beings.
So it's huge.
Just
It's
human beings.
huge. And just imagine the power of these women. I can't wrap my mind around it. Years and years of
Well, and
resistance.
Well, imagine the
and
strength of these women
Yeah.
to
and
be.
Taylor Greene, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. She, she really changed colors for me,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens to her in the election now.
Well, she should probably, this may be make her very, powerful
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
But I
long
don't
run.
think it affects Trump's followers. I somehow don't think it affects them because
Except for the fundamentalist Christians. It does affect them.
Well,
I don't know. They believe that everything is a lie. It's just they're making up this stuff. Even you show them the documents, the pictures, they say, "Oh, it's just Democrats." And I think I don't know about the Christians followers of him, but many of Trump's followers have already compromised their morality
oh yeah,
for going for him.
very
Yeah.
far.
Anyway, it's quite a
Not to me, it's
thing.
not just a political division. It is a moral thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's come all in a rush finally that the people that were resisting all of a sudden, bang, they've all accepted that they have to do this now. And there, I mean, in a way, I think there are a lot of predators that are hiding in that number. In other words, they see the inevitable, so they're voting for it, not because they want to, but because if they don't, they'll be spotlighted. So they're just trying to stay with the crowd, I believe.
I didn't really understand the relation between the predator and the sin eater concept. Were they related, sin eater and predator?
The sin eaters is the cormorants and
Yeah,
A what?
right.
the birds that eat the flesh of the predator.
Yeah.
Those are the
In
sin eaters.
some burial techniques, I mean, in Native American burial techniques, they just put the body out and let the birds get it.
And then some Buddhists.
Yeah, the
Some
Tibetan
Buddhists do
Buddhists
that.
in
Yes.
Tibet. Yeah, in
When I
Tibet.
first arrived in America, I met an American Indian guy, and I told him about my life. That was basically I was teaching some courses, and young people were coming to my courses, and they were confessing, they were telling me things that they had nobody to talk about it, like being molested, raped, and stuff. So at some point, I had courses like 4 days a week, and the 3 days I was sick. I was always in bed and sick
Hmm.
because of how it affected me, how I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah,
And
they
this
say stress
American
can do
Indian,
that to you.
Yeah.
Stress can
yeah,
make you
because
very sick.
yeah. And this American Indian guy, he told me that you were the sin eater. That was the first time I heard this word, and it really resonated with me.
Hmm.
And so I always understood this concept of sin eater as somebody who is listening to all these disasters that is happening in this world with people, with societies,
Yeah.
and you kind of digest it, you absorbed it. But you have to have a system to purify it and release it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be very sick.
Yeah.
So
How
I
do
think
you
the
spell
sin
that
eater
word?
concept, if they eat the predator, they have to have some kind of system, grounding or something,
Grounding.
to let go of what they have digested.
Grounding.
Well, it
How do
says
you
that
spell this word, Azin?
Pardon me?
How do you spell that word?
Sin
what
eater?
word?
Yeah, how do you spell it?
Sin eater. It's Sineater. Sin
Sin.
eater.
Eater, 2 words.
But
Sin.
don't
And
they
I
have
think for psychologists, Angie, psychologists are kind of sin eaters.
Yeah, sure.
don't
So
they
every
but don't
week
they have
I
that
have
in the
2 definitions.
Zoroastrian religion too, Azin?
Zoroastrians. Yes, Zoroastrians do
Well,
that too.
Vegetarian,
yeah,
they do that? I never heard that.
the
Yes, they do.
Catholic in the Catholic Church, the confession is
Oh,
Confession, yeah.
I didn't hear it in Zoroastrian. I don't know.
Yes, they
Zoroastrian.
put the body out. They put the bodies out, and there are people who take care of that. They live there to take care of the
The
bodies.
birds, they let the birds eat it. Yeah.
yeah,
Not
Yes,
sin
yeah,
eater, but yeah, they put the bodies out for the birds to
yes,
eat.
that's what they do. And and it
And we
said
also, please go
what
ahead.
she says here is that the bird digests it and it brings it, and hopefully it comes back to be a better life.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
We
that
have,
sort of happens in our own psyches when
and
we
we have this
dismember
mythic
that critic.
bird. We have this mythic bird. It's called Homa.
hmm
And Homa is the lucky bird. If
hmm
she sits on your shoulder, you will be a king or a queen.
wow,
It brings a lot of luck. And this bird is special because it eats bones. It
uh-huh,
feeds on bones.
huh,
And specifically, they go and when they put the corpses outside, these birds go. And the way they eat the bones is that they take the bone up in the sky high and they throw them down. And when they are shattered and broken, they come and eat them. That's the only thing that they feed on, bones.
How do you spell that? Azim?
I will send you the
That
link. Yeah.
okay.
Gosh, they sound
Wait,
like carrion as well because carrion birds are so clever. Crows are really, really clever birds.
yeah.
And it's interesting that in recent months, what is happening in Iran, that recent year, I think, they have been sighting on this bird.
Oh, wow.
hmm,
They come to the people see them, and the interesting thing is they appear on Mount Damavand,
hmm,
which is the place that Iranian believe that the Zahak, the monster, the brain eater Zahak was chained, is
oh,
chained in Damavand. And Damavand, after many, many years, it has an eruption last year.
oh,
So it's really interesting, and everybody's into this myth of these birds and Zahawk and Mova. It shows it's just like the nature is responding.
Can you put the name of the myth and the link too?
Sure.
So, Angie, you're
Let me
looking
email
so
you.
nice and warm.
I am. I'm snug. And I've got a dog sitting next to me as well. My son's dog. He's keeping me
Yeah,
warm.
I'm
And
thinking I
Diane's
may have
fan
to
is
go.
working. Diane's fan is working.
Yeah, it's,
Diane,
like
Diane, it's all warm.
70, and well, you don't know that. It's, what would that be in centigrade?
70s, like 20 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's going down below zero here now, so we had snow.
Oh,
you were
boy.
below zero, right? You're below
Must have been
zero.
this morning. Not
But
it was 1 degree when I was out there just
yeah,
now. So but it's probably
below
going
zero means 32 degrees Fahrenheit, though.
Oh yeah.
It's Celsius. Below 0 Celsius. And
Yes, I know.
yeah.
This sounds bad.
We're having a cold snap.
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold enough. We're cold here. I'm almost tempted to go
I should
get my
imagine it's
jacket.
colder where Eva is. Ava.
Yes,
It must
Ava.
be colder where Ava is. It must be really cold. Because I
Yeah,
think we're the weather coming in from Scandinavia at the moment.
yeah.
How cold is it, Ava?
Is Ava there?
Are you asleep?
Yeah.
No, I'm not asleep, but I have to I just listening. It's we have snow, and it's I think it's about 5 cold degrees Celsius.
5 degrees Celsius, not 5 below 0 Celsius.
Yes, five below.
Oh,
Five,
5 below.
five. I don't know how to say it in English. I mean,
Minus 5.
cold
Minus
degrees.
5. Minus 5. Is it minus
Yes,
5?
minus. Okay, Diane, you
Okay.
are a Scandinavian.
Yeah.
You are able to.
Well, this is not it's so bad. We can ask Tim.
No.
Tim's
Yeah,
one
Tim,
of the
how cold
coldest
is it there?
parts.
We've had the warmest November in records.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been like 50s and 60s the last month.
Wow.
Wow. Well, I guess you're enjoying that. It's not going to last.
No, it isn't.
Yeah. I remember being as cold as I've ever been in Tim's studio one time because we came from Colleen's house to Tim's house flying into Helena, and Tim had turned off the heat in the studio for the time he was gone. And it was really cold. I don't know how cold, but the studio itself was very cold. And
Yeah, I've been called a polar bear many times.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Okay. All right, we're gonna get into this a little further then. We're almost done this story. When we refuse to entertain the predator, its strength is extracted and it is unable to attack without us. We, in essence, drive it down into the layer of the psyche where all creation is as yet unformed and let it bubble in that etheric soup till we can find a better form for it to fill. When the predator's psychic energum is rendered, it is formable to some other purpose. We are creators then. The raw substance reduced down, it becomes then the stuff of our own creation. Women find that as they vanquish the predator, taking from it what is useful and leaving the rest. They are filled with intensity. They're filled with intensity, vitality, and drive. They have rendered from the predator what has been stolen from them, vigor and substance. To render the predator's energy and turn it to something else can be understood in these ways, colon. The predator's rage can be rendered into a soul fire for accomplishing a great task in the world. The predator's craftiness can be used to inspect and understand things from a distance. The predator's killing nature can be used to kill off that which must properly die in a woman's life, or what she must die to in her career, in her outer life. These being different things at different times. Okay, I'm sorry, my psyche is collapsing. So Diane or Angie or someone, can you read the last couple of paragraphs?
Okay, I'll read it. Usually she knows exactly what they are. To render the parts of Bluebeard is like taking the medicinal parts of the deadly nightshade or the healing elements of the poisonous belladonna plant and using these materials carefully for healing and helping. What ash of the predator is left then will indeed rise up again, but in much smaller form, much more recognizably, and with much less power to deceive and destroy. For you have rendered many of its powers which it plied destructively, and you have turned these powers toward the useful and the relevant. Bluebeard is one of several teaching tales that I believe are important for women who are young, not necessarily in years, but in some part of their minds. It is a tale of psychic naivete, but also of powerfully breaching the injunction against looking. It is a tale about finally cutting down and rendering the natural predator of the psyche. It is my belief that story is meant to set the inner life back into motion again. The Bluebeard story is a medicine which is particularly important to apply where the inner life of a woman has become frightened or wedged or cornered. Story solutions lessen fear, elicit doses of adrenaline at just the right times, and most importantly, for the captured naive self, cut doors into walls which were previously blank. Perhaps most elementally.
Fantastic. When will it happen?
Yes. And most importantly, for the captured naive self, cut doors into walls which were previously blank. Perhaps most elementally, the Bluebeard story raises to consciousness the psychic key, the ability to ask any and all questions about oneself, about one's family, one's endeavors, and about life all around. Then, like the wildish fiend who sniffs things out, snuffles into and under and around to discover what a thing is, a woman is free to find true answers to her deepest and darkest questions. She is free to wrest the powers from the thing which has assailed her and to turn these powers, which were once used against her, to her own self-suited and excellent uses. that is a wildish woman.
Thank you. You saved me. Whew.
Did you doze off?
I did, yeah. Yeah. In the last paragraph, I just went, oh, all right.
That's
Let
good.
me
Do we?
let me read the last paragraph again.
Okay.
That way I'll be awake for it. Perhaps
Okay.
most important, the Bluebeard story raises it to consciousness, the psychic key, the ability to ask any and all questions about oneself, about one's family, one's endeavors, and about life all around. Then, like the wildish being who sniffs things out, snuffles into and under and around to discover what a thing is, a woman is free to find true answers to her deepest and darkest questions. She is free to wrest the powers from the thing which has assailed her and to turn those powers which were once used against her to her own well-suited and excellent uses. That is the wildish woman.
And that's what all those young women who spoke yesterday
Yeah.
in the movement have done for themselves.
Yep.
But
And
we don't make the doors in the wall, right? Because she's talking about making doors in the wall. I think the doors are already there. You need to see them or you need the key to open, right?
yeah. Well, and
Well, so I mean,
To cut their
some
door.
of those are hidden so much by culture and family,
yeah.
cultural things. You know, it's no, don't go there. We're not going there. Don't talk about that. What? You know?
Yeah.
Some people are so used to
Predators
not
do that.
looking. They're so used to not
Yes.
looking. When you ask them, well, what do you feel about that? They don't actually know. They're so used to being shut down.
Yeah.
No basic things about their values and what they think, what they feel. You know,
Yeah.
really not in. Yeah, and I can relate to that. There's been times in my life. I'm not talking about other women and saying I haven't been there. There have been times when I've been like a headless chicken and not even aware of that. And then when you stop to talk, I've spoken to women that have built those brick walls up themselves to keep themselves safe. And
Mhm.
they're so used to living with them now, I don't even see them anymore. So it's to dismantle them becomes really difficult when you can't see them.
Right.
But you, in a way, you're right, Ozzy. We built them. Our culture built them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think they're naturally in
no,
the psyche
they're not
or the
innate.
soul. Maybe the psyche, but the soul, that I mean, that's
Well, do you,
splitting hairs and
yeah,
the difference between psyche and soul, but
Angie and Azim, do you find in your practices that you are one of the thing or one of the key things that you do is offer the keys to empower people to live a
No,
different way?
Actually, how I introduced my logo and motto in my classes was that I give you the keys,
Mm-hmm.
and it is you that you can use that. I was talking about archetypes. So seeing archetypes as keys, understanding the concept of archetype and how you play them,
Mm-hmm.
the warrior, the wanderer, the child. And the first thing that happens when you're in personal growth is that you realize that it is the child within, that I
yeah.
cannot say no, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the understanding. And I see the door, you can see the door as leading to somewhere, discovering a part of your psyche that was not revealed to you previously, and as an opening, like a clarity,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? something that is opens up and you get clarified about something. And I really I'm thinking about myself and I want to hear examples of it, that something appeared as a door to you. I'm thinking about my own experience. I'm trying to remember something.
Can I share one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
Because
sure.
it's
Moment.
it's relevant to the predator. A
Mm,
wolf in sheep's clothing, right? Because we're talking about Epstein and all these people, and someone who raped someone. You come to this person and you trust them. They're a father figure, a sister figure, a teacher, a doctor, a pastor, a spiritual leader, someone prominent or someone simple, and they're a wolf in sheep's clothing, and they're so nice and they assimilate so well to the environment. And you don't realize that they're playing Dan Slimakrabi. In your mind you think they're playing the Four Seasons,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, you jump into your death, and you don't know until it's too late. And this, to kind of change it, I wanted to share, because we're so deep in the topic, I wanted to share, reminds me so much, the skeleton woman reminds me so much of a childhood scary story that I've read. It's called Rings on Her Fingers.
Mhm.
Can you allow me to share the screen, Skip, so I can
Yeah,
share the story? It's very
sure.
short. It's like one page.
Yeah, just a moment.
It's a cute children's story, and I'm such a big fan of fairy tales and sharing. Can you see my screen?
Not
No?
yet.
Let me see. Okay. Allow. Uh, share audio. Chrome. Oh, that's strange. Okay, here. Okay, so it's right here. This is the story. And it's part of a series, kind of like Harry Potter, but scary stories for kids. It's called Scary Stories, Even More Scary Stories, Scarier Stories. And this one is about rings on her fingers. So, Rings on Her Fingers is a scary story for kids about a grave robber who digs up a woman's corpse and steals her jewelry. It is based on an old folk tale found in England and Ireland called The Thievish Sexton. A version of the story was included in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. One day, Florence Wyndham suddenly took ill and slipped into a coma. Despite all the doctors tried to do for her, she eventually died. Her husband was heartbroken. She was buried in a small cemetery about a mile from her home. In the middle of the night, a grave robber broke into the cemetery. He was carrying a lantern and a shovel. He began to dig her up. When his shovel eventually hit wood, he scrambled down into the grave and prized the coffin open. Holding up the lantern, he looked at the corpse inside and saw 2 gold rings on the dead woman's fingers. Taking hold of her cold dead hand, he began trying to pull off the rings, but they stuck fast. He decided that the only way to get gold rings was to cut off her fingers. Taking a knife out of his pocket, he sliced into the finger with the first gold ring, and to his horror, it began to bleed. He heard a rustling sound, and the woman's corpse began to stir. Suddenly, it sat up straight in the coffin. The terrified man jerked backwards and accidentally dropped the lantern. He was left in complete darkness, crouched down in the grave, frozen in fear. Just then, he felt 10 cold fingers around his neck. The man let a terrible scream and scrambled out of the grave as fast as he could. In a panic, he began running, not daring to look back. Blinded by fear and confusion, he had no idea where he was going. He kept running through the pitch darkness. In his terror, the man didn't realize that he was fleeing in the wrong direction. He ran headlong over the edge of a cliff and fell onto the rocks below. He fell on his own knife, and it stabbed him straight through the heart. The thief bled to the death at the bottom of the cliff. So, in some versions, I've heard that he fell into her grave, and she ended up being free, and she walked home. So there's two different versions of it because it's from the United Kingdom. And so I guess the relation between these two stories is you can't really take these things with you when you die, but at the same time, you can't take something away that was very valuable to a person who was living.
Yeah. Um,
Like sentimental value, because I have this one beautiful blanket,
mhm.
and it's originally from the Carolinas. And I found in one of the universities, they had like an archive photograph of the factory that used to manufacture these blankets. And the blankets were distributed to the armed forces of the United States and on the Second World War. And it's this really thick cashmere and wool blanket. And I'm so shocked because I know that a long time ago, the Brooks brothers, they were the first to sew up the the uniforms and of the soldiers during the Civil War. And the soldiers, when they worked really hard, the because the fabric was just fibers, recycled fibers, it wasn't really anything to stick. It wasn't well woven. It was just fibers that were not woven. And it just began ripping and tearing during the war when they were in combat.
So,
So
Hella, are you saying,
this
sorry, are you saying that man is like the predator, the grave robber is like the predator of this is the soul? Is that what he was like you were seeing him as the predator, and then the woman's rings are like her precious, women's gold rings. They die, they get buried in their rings, don't they? They're like precious. Uh, so that predator was stealing the woman's rings. Is that how it related to that um story, do you think?
I like your interpretation, Angie, of whether or not the grave robber is uh
Do you think he was
the
the predator?
bad guy. He's definitely the villain in this one, but at the same time, he died, right? What a punishment it is. So now here I am with this blanket that I found at the I found it at the thrift store, which my friend said, "I'll buy it for you." And it was bought for me. And we at first they told us that it was free, but because that thrift store, all of their funding goes for survivors of domestic violence, we thought, well, why would we just take it for free? Because it was a little bit damaged. So we donated at least $1 because it's actually, ironically, it was a native indigenous kind of domestic violence safe haven. So she didn't want any of our money. So I just said, at least give her $1. Just give her $1 if she doesn't want. And so that was the only cash that we had. And we just gave her $1 and we took the blanket. But then all of these weird things started happening. The turbulence on my airplane started happening when I was bringing it back to New York. Like I hear someone walking around in my apartment. It's like a lot of paranormal I guess I'm more on the paranormal side of Jungian psychology. And it's very difficult to learn more about the paranormal stuff because everyone wants they don't want the pseudoscience, they want the mathematical part of it. They want the quantitative reasoning.
I mean, Jungians aren't about quantitative,
Yeah.
but the society wants quantitative,
Yeah, that's
right?
why. Measuring dreams and all that.
Right.
Can I share
Yeah.
two things that as I was listening to Amela, these two things came to my mind. The first thing is I had a classmate when I was studying in Pacifica. She was an artist and she made this project. The name and the archetype was the woman in the wall.
Mhm.
So what she did, she went into a bathtub and there was cement around him or chalk or whatever, I don't know. But her face was out. And it was she was revisiting an old Christian myth. I don't remember exactly. I have to find it for you and send the link. But it was about a nun that
Got bricked up in the yeah, they used to brick them up.
they put her in the wall.
They did.
And during the, I don't know, I don't know the date, but it was old. And I see this face as I was listening to Amela, this face of this woman as a door in the wall.
Ah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was
Well,
an
that's
opening and this face in the wall. And it was like a grave also. It was a grave.
Mm.
The second thing that came to my mind, do you guys hear about this La Bobo dolls?
Yeah, that's funny.
As recently they have come, that everybody thinks that they have to have them in all their colors and they're selling like crazy, these dolls. But I was reading about this, the story behind it. And the story behind it is that there was a guy who lost his two children and they buried the children. So he go to the cemetery, he digs the children out, um, and he brings them to his house and makes them a kind of doll. He puts their bones in a doll.
Oh,
So you
wow.
see a doll, there's a bone in the doll.
Mhm.
And he kept doing it. I think he did dig out 30 or 40 kids.
Oh, wow.
Uh, yeah, and he put them all in his house. So the story behind these dolls are supposed to be scary, like they have these
Yeah.
big eyes. And so the story behind is that these are the children digged
Or an
out of
amulet.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Azine. I had absolutely no idea, but they can also be like a protection. I mean, that's probably not the
Yeah.
best way to do it, but you know, some people they keep like their parents' ashes in a
Yeah.
vase, you know, in the living
But the
room
bone
or family
in the
room.
cloths, like put cloths and they make the doll with bones.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
I
I think
mean,
these
I
are
was
related myths. All the stories are related to what we are reading.
I
Yeah.
was I was in this in the I don't know,
Ah, yeah, La Bobo.
Skip, what
That's
do
it.
you call this church in
Myths.
Washington DC, that really huge Catholic church?
The Church of the Immaculate Conception.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I
The
went there
Cathedral of
and
the Immaculate Conception. Yeah.
they have I think they have catacombs in there.
Yeah.
And when I went in there, I felt a presence. And it was a dark presence.
Hmm.
And I was wondering maybe if it was like a demon or what was it, an angel? I don't know. But it was a tall, dark presence. And everywhere that I went in that cathedral, it just kept following me around. It was just stalking me. And
Yeah.
I just, between spirits, I just tried to make peace with it, because just like in this story, you run and you run, but what's the point of running? You just have to accept it. And that's kind of the phase that I'm in right now. I was having coffee with a friend of mine who knows many shamans in Central and South America very well.
Mhm.
And I confided in him. I told him, I went into solitude for like 2 years. Besides going to college, I was in solitude practicing, I guess it was Thai Buddhism. And
Mm.
I was like just in solitude and observing everything and meditating and just observing everything, detaching myself from everything. And I consulted a guru who specialized in Sanskrit and ancient scriptures from that area in Southeast Asia. And he told me that I reached enlightenment, and I had no idea what that was. And I said, well, I don't really like it because I feel like a black sheep in society, and it's making me feel very uncomfortable. And he said, well, that's because you're just on step one of the journey. And then I started having all these strange nightmares that were very lucid. And so he referred me to a place, and the place was closed. And every time I would go there, the place was closed. So then at that point, I said, I guess this is a sign that I already know what the answers are, and I just have to kind of go through it and see the signs.
Mhm.
And so when that door was closed, I felt like the door to life was opening, and it was very painful, very, very painful, just like those insane, quote, schizophrenic, end quote, alchemists. And it was a very psychotic experience. But meditation and yoga were very simple for me. But then over time, when I didn't keep up with my meditation practice, I cannot be in solitude. I'm always hearing something. Before, when I was able to meditate, I could be on Times Square and there could be so much noise around me, but I find peace inside myself. But now it just feels like I have so much noise around me, and I don't know what it is. And I guess I just have to, I don't know what I have to do, but that's what I'm going through right now with my meditation. No peace in my meditation.
Yeah.
Meditation is not just always with closed eyes,
I was going
and
to
it's
say
not
that,
always about silence.
you know
You
the
can have open eyes meditation.
yeah, you
Like
were talking about
when
this a
I
couple
was
of
in
weeks ago.
when I was in this state of encountering the self, I told you about it. What was happening to me was I was looking at a scene. Something was happening. I was in a coffee shop. Cars were going. People were coming and going. And what I was seeing was that my eyes were like a gate, and everything was coming through me. I was I was bringing all these images to the unconscious. So my eyes were like doors,
Yeah.
and I could also I could see this coming and going of events and consciousness, and how they both reflected each other like mirror.
Yeah.
So I think what you can do, my suggestion is that do an open eyes meditation with everything that is happening around.
Yeah. The Tibetan Buddhists, by tradition, meditate with their eyes open. Okay,
Mm.
their eyes are directed about a quarter of the way down from the horizontal. Um, so they're down there, it's a downward look, but they keep their eyes open. But they're
And
still,
walking meditation, also
yeah,
walking meditation.
sure.
Mm.
But they're
Mm.
focused on the inside.
Yeah. Mm.
Um,
I was thinking what you were saying the other day, is a few weeks ago, I seen about meditation doesn't have to be about clearing the mind. It can be like visualization. You was talking about meditation where you like go on a journey. Was you? Was it you who was talking about that? Like
I don't
journeying
know.
as a meditation.
Active imagination is that we have contemplation, we have
Absolutely.
meditation, we have all
Yeah.
kinds of meditation. So the idea that meditation is about closing my eyes and not thinking about anything is
It's not
just
always
one kind of meditation.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the Japanese Buddhism. That's where he referred me to. That's where the guru
Yeah.
he referred me to a Japanese Buddhist temple, and it
Mhm.
was always closed every time I went there. It's like, listen, lady, we're open at 4 a.m. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're on your own.
I always find it a bit odd that we try to sit there and clear our mind and shut consciousness off. I think I want to be more conscious.
About
Well,
witnessing. It's
Doing
yeah,
about
more,
witnessing.
yeah, witnessing, yeah, the witness, yeah, you're right. It's
well,
about finding the witness. Yeah.
and Angie, that's why I never could connect with Tibetan Buddhist meditation, which Debbie has been doing for over 30 years now. And I I could never be fully, I mean, I could meditate, but not get what she was getting. But when I'm doing my painting in the morning,
Mm.
now I get through. Okay. And I feel that I am getting connection with my unconscious when I'm doing that. And it's not a question of understanding it per se, but I do know that I'm going on 2 years of doing it every morning at 6 a.m. and and without any thought that I might stop. Uh, I don't anticipate stopping. In fact, I just bought another um, Arches watercolor block that's 18 by 24. I bought one before and I've used it all. So now I've gotten another one this past week, expecting that I'm going to keep painting on it.
I think there are two movements. I think with Zen, when I was practicing Zen, I was also doing shadow work.
mhm.
And I think these two kind of balance each other because with Zen and meditation, you're bringing things from outside inwards.
Mhm.
Like there's this movement going back inside. But with Jungian practice, it's just bringing inside out, like the shadow elements of psyche. And I found at that particular time, I found that they contradict each other. So I couldn't do Zen. I was doing Zen or I was doing Jungian work. They were different. They're opposing.
Mhm.
But now I think you can use it if you're doing heavy shadow work, if a lot of elements are coming out of your psyche. You can use meditation or Zen to calm things down, going slower or
I
increasing your capacity.
That's what I'm trying. I think that's what I have to do, Azine. Yeah. So what do you mean by that? My capacity. What do you mean? Because there's so much noise.
Yeah, there's so much noise, but by capacity, I mean your ego. And ego
Yes.
in Jungian concept is not a bad thing, like in spirituality, and they say, oh, we are going to be egoless and stuff.
Mhm.
In Jungian psychology, ego is the container, is the vessel. So
The
Mhm.
you never
container for the
use your ego.
psyche.
Yeah. So when I say increasing your capacity, it means, in your case, it means that to be able to witness all this noise
Mhm,
and
mhm.
not be shattered by it and distracted by it.
But why do we have
So
to contain the psyche? Why can't we just contain the archetypes?
what do you mean?
Well, the archetypes is like basically like the avatar of who we are, right? Those are just
Yeah,
Archetypes
but
are elements of our
it's but
conscious.
Mel, it's not contained within you. archetypes are not contained within you. Archetypes
Well, we have
are,
archetype per se, and we have archetype presentation.
yeah,
What we talked about, the idea of archetype is archetype per se, which means an unconscious element. But when
Yeah.
I'm talking about child within, Hermes, all these archetypes, Sin Eater, whatever, these are archetype presentations. It means that it's an archetype that has come to the surface to the level that we can talk about it. But the
Yeah.
idea of archetype is very deep. It's in psychoid, and it's not even an idea. It's just there, something there.
It's a pattern.
But when it comes to the surface, you see it as myth, as archetype presentation, then we can talk about it. But the question is, always my students ask me, if they're unconscious, how do we talk about them?
Look at this. I drew this. I had some
It's not in focus, Amela.
let me see why is it like that?
Flip
don't
back
know.
a little.
Can you see it?
There now it is.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You see
Okay.
that? That's like a woman split in half.
Yeah.
And she has two different tables. You see, they're like her altars. This is her altar.
There should not be a division. There should be a dance between conscious and unconscious.
And
Oscillation. You should go
yeah.
there and come back, you know.
It's like instead of having a chair, right? Instead of having a chair for her throne, she's standing and she's in two, you know, like day and night. And totally different style. One is a little curvy and one is straightforward.
One is stable and one is not stable.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, one is like a volcano.
Looks a little bit like a tarot card as well, you know.
Yeah.
With pillars. The two pillars actually in the Rider Waite are in a lot.
Yeah, sure.
I think I've got the two pillars where you walk between the pillars into the unconscious, like as a part taking the path.
So I think that you sometimes call up an archetype. For example, recently when I've been doing my painting in the morning, I would say about a month ago, we decided one evening to watch the show Evita. We watched the movie Evita, the one with Madonna and Antonio Banderas. And,
Wonderful.
pardon? Yeah, it's
Wonderful. I love that film.
Yeah, it's a wonderful film. But every morning when I'm painting, that music is coming into my head. I can't stop it. I mean, it's like having an earworm, right?
That's the Andrew I do ever effect.
It's like having an earworm, and so it's saying something to me. I'm not sure what yet. Okay. But you know, and it's only certain parts of songs, like it'll be a line in a song. The one that comes to mind immediately is she's complaining to her host when she's at the Vatican, and she says, "They called me a whore. They actually called me a whore." And the guy says, "Well, they still call me an admiral, although I gave up the sea long ago." And
I'm a
go
little
ahead.
bit concerned because I think that we need to go back and talk about what Azim was saying. You know, it's important to have a strong ego because
Yes.
if these archetypes come up, you have to be able to turn around and talk to them.
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
And that's what the Red Book is really about.
Yeah.
That's what Jung does throughout the Red Book. And I'm a little bit concerned, Amila, that you need to be able to do that.
Yeah, because lately I've been feeling like I'm somewhere between the spiritual world and the real world. Because when I was younger, I had like a near-death experience, and so my family thought that they lost me and they were getting ready to bury me. And then my mother took me to a witch doctor, who I hope she's still okay. And she basically gave me treatment, and it was months long, and finally I survived. So I feel like sometimes I'm stuck between the spiritual world and reality, and I cannot tell the difference. I think that's what it is. I have one foot here and one foot there.
Are you still
Well,
in
and
Happens
I
the,
all the
think I
time.
think I think in this book, that's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
About
are you still in Moldova, Amela?
No, I'm back in New York.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Mhm.
but she's talking about how we can take the pieces of the archetype that is threatening to us, the predator. A predator is an archetype. We can take those pieces apart and use what we need. As women, for example, we have to be able to talk back to the predator. We have to pull the wolf's clothing off, or the sheep's clothing off of the wolf. And I think we should continue reading because I
But
think she's real
in
qualified
in
to
that
Yeah.
process, that it's in that process we need dream work, symbolic work, artwork, because it's the bridge between
yes.
the worlds.
Yes. Yeah, surely.
Yeah.
And it's a
But I'm
language, it gives a language that we can handle and not drown in the either one, on the outer world or the inner world. It's between, the bridge between, and we need to learn this communication. And it's as Skip is telling, it's so the intuition music is an art form. The intuition is there with the melody that, that had something uh, to tell
Yeah.
Skip
Yeah,
about his love.
absolutely. That's what
Yes,
I'm saying. And
yes,
and now I've got the idea to go back and try to do some active imagination uh with that admiral. Okay.
yes,
Because Ava, Evita Ava is my anima
yes.
there. And there's something about my anima that's feeling threatened. Okay. That's feeling like, I should have gotten out of this long ago. Why are they still talking about
Skip,
this?
Skip,
And
have you? Oh, go on. I'm sorry.
well, and the admiral is saying, well, that's just the way things are. That's the way it is.
Because
Okay.
all the culture have a
Yeah,
problem
because
with
of
the
the
animal.
culture, right.
Yes, yeah.
Right. And so as I'm just working it through now a bit, thanks to this conversation. Um, but I'm sure that uh, and I have this sort of feeling every day because uh, the kids say, why are you doing this if you successfully took a company public, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, there are a number of reasons, but there's there's uh there's a reason that I can't put my finger on quite, but I'm called to do it.
Hmm.
I can't help myself. I want to do it. And even though I do it with difficulty because of my um, disability, I still do it, and I want to do it. And So,
It's a way of living. We are never ready. We have to
right.
go further
But
all the
it's
time.
not for it's not for the money. It's for something else. And
Authenticity.
yeah, and
Self.
Right, the soul got
yeah, it's soul work.
Yeah.
when that
Yes.
soul wants us to do
Yeah.
something.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't want to distract though. So why don't we go on with, well, let's see. Can we do
I think
this? No.
Mertz wanted to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, Max.
Just quickly, because you mentioned Eva Peron,
Uh-huh.
and I want to recommend a TV show called Santa Evita.
What is it called? Sunk?
Santa
Oh,
Santa
Santa. Okay.
Evita. I don't know. I think in English is Saint Evita.
Santa Vita, yeah.
It is. I think it is an Argentinian TV show, and it's based on a book about when they stole Evita's body. And it is very interesting to, after watching the film, the Andrew Lloyd Webber
Hmm.
film, to know this story after she died. It was a long, how her body being, I don't know how to say in English. It's not mummified. It's like,
Well, she was completely dressed in like a saint. Yeah, like a
yes,
saint.
when they put chemicals in the body, so
Yes.
it's kept like they do with the
Embalming,
whole,
embalming
yeah,
we call it.
embalming. Her body was embalmed, so how the fear in the men collectively in Argentina became even stronger after she died, because her dead body became a symbol of her, like a saint, a
Right.
higher power.
Yes.
They feared her when she was alive, and when she was dead it was worse. And
Yeah.
her body disappeared, and it took so many years to be recovered, and it was in the house of someone who was a bit obsessed with her.
Hmm.
Wow.
The story, there's a lot of fictional elements, but I think the only, or one of the few fictional elements was the copy of the body. There wasn't a copy. There weren't fake bodies,
Hmm.
but they added that to the story. But to think that this is one of the few fictional elements in the story, it's scary. It's horrible how how threatened some powerful men feel about women.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that a
And,
And
book or a
it's
movie?
amazing. It is amazing because the TV show was directed by, I think, Salman Hayek and some other
Wow.
Oh,
person,
yeah.
and half
I
of
think I saw
the
that.
crew, half of the team involved were women.
hmm.
And it wasn't filmed by a cameraman. It was a camera woman. So there is the female look to the in the show.
Hmm.
The camera was
So
commanded by a woman.
is it in English or is it in only Spanish or Portuguese?
I think that it is in English. I think it is in Spanish, but with English subtitle. It is
Uh-huh.
a production from many countries. So and I think it is from, I don't know if it is from Disney Plus or Paramount Plus. I'm not sure.
Is it an older film
No,
or is
it's
it
a
new?
TV show, a TV series.
Is it
I think it
new?
is.
Is it
Yes, I think
new?
it was from 2023. I'm not sure. But
Okay.
it's wonderful. It's horrible to watch. It's very uncomfortable to watch, but it is so important. And reading what we are reading and discussing what we are discussing, and after skip comparing Eva Peron to his animal.
Yeah, and
It
the
is
one thing I wanted to mention was that they, in the song, in the movie, in the Andrew Lloyd Webber movie, in that scene where her body is laying in state in the cathedral, they're singing about Santa Evita.
yes,
Yeah, that's
yes,
in the word Santa Evita.
yes, because in Argentina, Evita is like a saint.
Yeah.
They have the images of Catholic saints, and
hmm
Evita like one of them.
hmm
So
To people from Argentina, it's like she's really a saint.
hmm
is it linked to what Amela was saying about the dead woman, her power in death? And I'm thinking of all those women that are more powerful after they're dead, like
Yes,
Lady Diana, the one that
yes,
married to Prince Charles.
Yeah,
They're-
yeah.
And then I'm thinking of the women in Bluebeard's room that
hmm
are dead, all those dead women, that when she opens the door, the youngest sister with the key, and she sees all the dead women in there, that is when their power really to do something, because then she can change it. But it's like some women they die before their power comes to the surface.
They become mythicized. They become
Yeah,
yes,
archetypes.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's men that are scared of them, you know.
Yeah.
It's like the establishment and the power of patriarchy that
yeah.
in Amella's
Well,
story, the
I
man
imagine there are a lot of scared men around the world now about the
yeah,
Epstein files coming out.
Oh boy, I guess.
Scared. Women are scared.
and
Yeah,
that woman dead, that Virginia Giuffre, she committed suicide,
yeah.
and now that makes her story more powerful.
Oh,
Yes.
definitely.
love
Yeah.
her, Virginia Woolf.
Uh,
No, this
Oh,
is
no. Oh,
This
it's
is,
an okay. I'm
this is
I
yeah,
think
no,
that's because the woman becomes the animal, and the
yeah,
fear increases because the fear of animal in men
yeah, yeah.
appears. It's not
So,
just the woman you can rape.
yeah,
yeah,
It's
yeah,
untouchable,
this becomes untouchable.
horrifying animal.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's Virginia Giuffre, Giuffre,
oh,
who was one of the victims of Epstein.
oh, yes.
she was the one that committed suicide.
And she wrote a book about her experience before
Yes.
committing suicide.
Yeah,
Oh,
but her death really made, I mean, sadly,
Yeah,
it took her death
yeah,
to get attention. And I mean, honestly, it seems like that really made a difference.
sure.
Oh yeah,
I think it did.
sacrifice.
Yeah, and I think those women all in
It was a
Bluebeard were
martyr.
sacrificed. I think they were part of the sacrifice, that
Yes, they were
Yeah,
also
surely.
part of that same sacrifice.
Yeah,
But now they, they've taken this predator apart now. They've taken the energy that he has and used it for themselves. And they're standing together, and it's made them more powerful.
yeah.
yeah,
But they're also getting the reaction, which is now all the men, they finally said, okay, we can't hold this finger in the dike any longer. And so then they all voted for it, because they can hide and there's safety in numbers. So
Because it's going to be a real litmus test
it's
for
going to
them.
be a huge thing. Um, and so they couldn't not do it. You folks can keep talking for a bit. I need to excuse myself for a moment. I will be back.
So I think we've only got one page left of this section to finish. I don't know.
There's another, oh no,
Oh,
there's several more
oh,
pages.
right.
the dark man and
Okay.
in women's dreams.
So
It's
I was thinking when Azine, you was talking earlier about archetypes, and Jung does talk about the danger of living out an archetype. You know, we are, we are humans, and we've got access to all those different archetypes. We ride in and out of those, you know, emotions that they carry and stories. Um, but I think if you feel that your life is one particular archetype and that's being governed, I think that is not,
You're possessed.
it's not a good place.
yeah. Jung says you cannot integrate an
Mm,
archetype.
mm.
Isn't that right, Skip? Tim?
Kim there?
You're mute.
You're mute.
You can't, what did you say?
Integrate an archetype.
Right. An archetype is like a riverbed, a dry riverbed. And you provide the water for the riverbed and it goes its own way, but it's always beyond human achievement or integration.
And some of them are really possessive more than others.
really
Persephone, Persephone, she adopts you. She abducts you and you takes you and you're stuck in underworld. Story of my life, years and years. Hades is one of them, the king of underworld, death. So some of them are more possessive because they have more power. Like Demeter, the goddess of motherhood. She also very possessive because it's about life and death. So
Maybe
yeah,
you can borrow some of their energy for certain situations.
Yeah.
But you can't let them overtake you.
Because you'd live the
God's
story of your
want to live in our flesh. God's require, they want our flesh and bone and blood because they want to live through us. So yeah, that's why it's important to keep our ego in balance. And you never, Jung suggests that you never dive into the unconscious. It's too deep, it's an ocean. You never go for an archetype. You just sit there, you observe, you receive their energy, and you do something about it. If you have a dream that is affecting you, you have to do artwork, you have to do something about it.
Yeah. So that's
And
what I was thinking of James Joyce's daughter, when Jung said, how James Joyce's daughter was drowning in the sea that he could swim in, because he was writing, was James Joyce, wasn't it? That
Yes.
woman was giving it,
Yes.
and he was writing, he was using his imagination and grounding that energy. When you've written a story, you're grounding that energy, you're taking that, and whereas she didn't know what to do with it. She was like drowning in that, and it's taking that and doing something with it, I think.
It's a lot of creative
power. As an archetype is really possessive. I'm feeling it right now. It's been months that I'm really, really into this possessive, the idea of death.
Which one was
and
it?
Death is a really spiritual thing. Some people think that death is it has a lot of energy and it's full of life. Full of life.
Yeah.
But people avoid it. And
because it's like that she's talking down here, life, death, life. So you take the elements and metabolize it in a way that you need to take some action, like for a big project. Do you do that, Tim, when you have a big project that you're going to do?
Oh, yeah. You bet.
But you have to use that energy that way, not let it, get
I
to
have
you.
to be able to come back from it, I think.
Yes. Yes. And well, I mean, and there it's sort of a guardrail if you're aware, being conscious that that's the way it works, that, it's like Colleen, I forget what professor that she had that did this study on people who succumbed, the difference between creative people who succumb to uh, schizophrenia or that type of thing, to artists who didn't. And it was about having a strong ego.
Yeah,
So,
Sense
yeah,
of
go ahead, Tim.
well, I had this amazing encounter with my anima in the form of my muse about 35 years ago. And man, if I hadn't understood the power of archetypes and how that works, I would have been driven crazy by it. It really,
How was it? How was this encounter? What was it?
oh, I, this is back in the late 80s. My manager and his family and my family were all dependent on my creative output. And I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know where it came from, how to take care of it. So I started looking for my creative source. And one evening, the the 24th of October in 1994, I went to a performance of Hamlet that my father was in. And this woman came on stage who was playing Ophelia. She was wearing a white dress. And it was like I was beaten over the head by this image. And I didn't know what was happening to me. And for a weekend, I couldn't figure out what was going on. And finally, I figured out this is my muse. This is what is appearing to me. And so I had her come to my studio in her white dress, and I did all kinds of photographs. And for 5 months after that, I couldn't do anything else but draw these images of my muse. And it's had a profound effect on my life ever since. And man, if I hadn't been studying Jung all that time, I wouldn't have known what to do. It probably would have torn apart my marriage and my career. It just would have been absolutely devastating to me. But because I was able to recognize this is something going on inside me, not out in the world, then I could go into the darkness of that image and come back out of it with treasure.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the link to my interview of you, Tim, which has that video about that experience in it.
Oh,
So just a minute. I'm gonna, because it's an amazing video.
Yes, I've seen it from several times now.
Yeah.
It's quite beautiful.
Yeah, here's the link. I've got it now. Uh, just have to copy it. And uh, here, there is the link so you can see it. It's early in this video. It's about 10 minutes in. And Tim and uh, his creator or manager created this wonderful video that I spliced into this interview because it's so powerful, and just the imagery in it is amazing. And I don't know if I can.
I'll put in the chat a link to that little film. It's about 7 minutes long, I think.
Okay, why don't you do that? That's better.
Tim, you mentioned that your knowledge, your Jungian knowledge about animal kind of maintained your ego to,
Right.
but what, I understand that it could be that, but I think my question is that how did you maintain your ego beside that knowledge? Maybe family, maybe your religious ideas, some kind of physical activity like Campbell would do, like running every day, doing something every day.
He was drawing all these images. He
Yeah.
drew a whole show for his museum.
Yeah, they were
It's
pretty.
crazy. It's crazy, like how Jung maintained his ego while writing
Yeah.
Red Book and all his. It's just amazing how they maintain that
Well, also,
because
Yeah.
ego is so
that
fragile.
Because he talked back to those archetypes. That's what he does all the way through. He talks back to them. You
the
know, he
Yeah.
does the
the guy that introduced Jung was my pastor at the time, and I had a lot of sessions with him about keeping my sanity during all this. And we would walk around the neighborhood, and I'd talk to him about what's going on, and he would say to me, "You can't go too deep in this, or you'll go crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you have to keep coming back, keep connecting with the world and with the
Jung
people."
said that Tony Wolff hold his
Mhm.
hand
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
when he was going through that. She hold his hand.
Yeah.
And my experience was similar, but it was in writing, and it was Clarissa Estes in the next chapter of this book that held my hand the whole way. Okay, because I modeled my novel after the next chapter of this book, and if I hadn't had her with me, I would have lost it too. So.
In my experience right now, I want to share with you, I'm not losing it. I'm not going insane, but the loss of ego or thinning the ego in me, it manifests in losing interest in the world. The core of my being, as I know myself, is curiosity. And it's dying in me. For the first time, I realized that I don't want to paint. I don't want to make anything. I'm not interested in learning anything. It just, I know everything. Everything is dead end. And I think it's related to animal somehow, because animal does what does in man is just losing interest and say, oh yeah, you can write a book, but there are millions of books and humans are stupid
Yeah.
as all. So why you want to finish this book? You know?
Yeah, that's your animus telling you that.
Animus says that you can't do that. Animus, negative animus in women said, you can't do that. You can't write a book. But anima in men, and I've lived my animus a lot, so I'm in deeper levels of anima. Anima tells a man that, what's the use? What for? What's the use of doing this? Yeah, of course you can do that, but what for? So what's happening to me is just that, yeah, I'm losing interest in the world.
But it was just what we was reading about in the Clarissa story.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
Yeah, the Bluebeard
taking
is
apart. Yes,
Bluebeard
yes,
is stealing
yes.
your wish, stealing your life
Finished
force.
it.
Your
Huh?
libido. It's about libido.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Energy, the energy. So, you know,
And everything I want to do, I can imagine it. Like, for example, people have dreams about future. I want to live in this house in the forest and I do this every day. I sit there and I totally imagine that life within 15 minutes. So I don't have any drive to do it in the world because I can imagine everything, like vividly.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for this. It's just
Just made me
I'm
think.
understanding my situation a little bit better. I don't know what to do about it, but this session helped me. This conversation helped.
Well, this your curiosity. You have to what is gonna happen the next time we read this? Maybe you will find the energy, Azine. I know you have a lot of creativity that
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
needs to be shared with the coming generations.
Yeah. The next chapter
That's
might.
that's one
Yeah.
thing that I cared about my students. I cared about humanity a lot. My
Yeah.
whole life was about sharing my experiences and talking to people. I'm losing that interest because I'm disappointed at humanity.
Okay, so
Deeply.
Azine, the very next part of this chapter is called the dark man in women's dreams. Okay. I suspect that it might be related to what you're
Yes.
talking about.
Yes, and I was hoping we would get to it, but it'll have to be next time now.
Yeah, it has to be next time. I can't do it anymore, and so next time will be Thanksgiving Eve for us in America. We will be doing this session. I'm planning to do it next Wednesday.
Already. Oh my gosh, already.
Yeah.
Azine, I feel the same way about the goddess Isis, like she represents humanity and humility, and she took in her husband's out of wedlock son, right? What is that jackal's name? I keep forgetting. Anubis. Yeah, so Anubis was about to get executed by his father, or was it his brother? And then Isis said, well, you brought him into this world and now we have to raise him. So she taught him about all this magic stuff and mummification and all that. And she is supposed to be the deity of humanity. And ever since the 9/11 terrorist attacks and radical religions and radical people, I can't think of ISIS the same again because of the relation between, and so there's this also kind of like a machismo culture happening, because here's this woman who existed before any of these fools, and here they are today defaming her and defacing her literally, which is exactly what they did in Syria when they defaced when those terrorist groups, when they defaced all of the Assyrian icons.
Yeah.
And actually what they did was totally radical and extremist, because I sit through to read the Quran, and it's very rare for me to read a lot of literature, but that is something that I read when I'm fasting or something, and during the high holidays, that's what I read. And I don't see anywhere there that it says burn everything to the ground. I don't think that's the right way, and I think that's the problem with a lot of religions is
Well,
when
what they
people
don't
go a
what they
little
don't
too far.
understand, Mela, what they don't understand is that ISIS cannot be destroyed. The anima cannot be destroyed. The anima is an archetypal thing that you cannot touch, right? You cannot touch it. And so they think that by destroying some work of art, they are destroying it, but they're not. They're only doing something, thinking that they can do something, but they don't understand that they cannot. The archetype is there, and it's everywhere. The pattern is everywhere. It's in a single cell. It's in it. As Jung said, it's small as the cell of a living body and large as the universe. And it cannot be destroyed.
And that's not hopeless.
And it's not hopeless. Nothing is hopeless. And
That which is never born and never dies.
right. And so, Colleen was very dejected after last year's election, and she's done exactly the right thing, which is to go back to what she's done for 50 years, and that's
To create.
to create and to teach.
Yes.
And I expect that she'll be doing that to the day she dies, and Tim will be following his muse.
And this group is a very important, and learning is, we have been so deep today. I'm so thankful for this group.
That's the only place I talk. I don't talk throughout the week with nobody.
Dialogue is so
as I come and
important.
talk.
Yeah.
The dialogue is so important.
Yes.
It deepens it for all of us.
Yes. Yes.
It's really given me a lot to think about tonight, as in really a lot. I think we're all resonating with each other. And
Yeah.
Amela, your stories really given me a lot to think about, to consider all week, and that comes out in creative ideas that we pass on to the other people we come into contact with, our dreams, and the days when we don't even want to do anything. Mini death, mini death, mini death, death, life, death.
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
God.
The things we have to die to. There are
Yeah.
things we have to die. That's what she says. There are things we have to die to in this life.
Yeah.
So we go through that. But
I've
then
had a
there's
year of
there's
death.
life again.
In fact, I've had 3 years of death. I lived in a house and everything I loved died. I lost my dad. I lost all my animals I loved, one after the other. Within 6 months, I sat in a house on my own, and I called it a house of death. And then I just dismantled it. I dumped everything and moved out. Got rid of every single thing, things that had been precious. I realized the impermanence of these things and started again. And it was very hard.
Wow.
But out of that came something completely different.
Yeah, I mean, I remember fighting that when I divorced from my first marriage, and the day of our court appearance, we went to the courthouse, and the judge said, you have to negotiate what your divisions are. So we spent all day negotiating, because I had spent a couple $100,000 on paintings and various things in Japan. And so we divided them up, and I go home afterward and called up my ex-wife and said, well, okay, I want to come over and pick up the ones that we agreed that I should have. And she said, you can't have them. Okay, after she had agreed to give them up. And
Excuse me, guys, I gotta go here.
Yeah.
Bye,
Bye.
team.
Bye.
Thanks for
care.
Bye,
being here,
Tim.
Tim. Thanks.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Thanks.
And so, but I said to myself, okay, the pleasure isn't in the owning of the thing. It's the pleasure of interacting with the artists. And so I'm going to continue with that pleasure. And so I still have some pieces from that time, but not much. And I can.
Is that Debbie?
Well, I have Debbie, and I'll show you. Wait a minute. Let me stop my. I'll just show you. I have them both right in front of me here. Okay, just background, none. All right, this is up behind me. That's our old bed. But anyway, if I turn this around, so on the wall, this painting, it's a watercolor, and we bought that at that time in the mid or the early 80s, and that's actually by Sarah Brer and Daniel Kelly. The Daniel Kelly that I still have is over our bed upstairs. And then if I go across here, lo and behold, voila.
Oh, there she is.
There she is, herself. And
Is that Avita? Who is it? I can't see
no,
her.
it's
No,
Debbie.
it's
It's
Debbie.
Debbie.
Oh, it's Debbie.
Oh.
I've never seen that before. I can't see it
No,
very well.
I haven't shown it before,
Oh, how
probably.
beautiful.
It's a beautiful
So it
painting.
is Debbie.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, this is Debbie about 30 years ago. And
Beautiful.
Yeah.
she was into meditation at that time, and so uh, we both sat for this portrait workshop uh, at Maryland Hall, and she meditated. So this is her meditating with her eyes open.
Ah,
Okay, so
oh,
she's in Buddhist meditation.
wow. That
With
would be the thing to do if you're sitting for a portrait,
right,
wouldn't it?
right, right. But
Oh, that's beautiful. Tell her I admired it. We
okay.
Amila, you
admired
should do something like that, Amila.
it. Yeah,
And
go
then
sit for a portrait,
this one is one by me. I did that one. And it's what it is it's actually the view across the Severn River from where I am right now. So during the day, that's what we can see across the river, and the white buildings are the naval station that supports the Naval Academy. The Naval Academy is on our side of the river, but the Navy station that supports the Navy station is these guys here, those buildings, among other things. So among many other things, because it's a huge base. And then so there's my painting, and there is Van Gogh, or no, Renoir. I think it's
Oh, you have a Renoir. Wow.
Well, it's a print, but
It's a print. Yeah.
it's a print. But
Okay.
if I could show it closer, which I cannot, it shows wind going in two directions. You can see in the wheat field the wind going this way and then going back this way and then going back this way.
Wow.
In the wheat field. So that's cool. And there's our.
Well, I'm going to have to go.
Yeah, me too. So
bye-bye.
Anyway, I'm glad we're here.
Time.
We'll be here next week on Thanksgiving Eve.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Peace.
Love you.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.